Where are you at mentally now going into the final three?
I mean, I think since the break, I've been really building every weekend. Obviously, the mud race wasn't great, but even Seattle, when Coop and I battled, I feel like I was riding in the right direction. And last weekend helped a lot mentally, but overall, I just feel like during the week I've been riding really well, feeling really like just connected with the bike, and I go off more of feeling than anything than lap time. So just trying to keep getting better, work on technique stuff, try and overall just get better feeling, and yeah, it's been really good. So just try and keep building. 3 races left, so we know what we have to do, and just try and go out there and execute.
Great work. That's 2 in a row for Chase. We'll open it up to the media. Michael.
Thanks, Haley. Mike Lantonovich with course heading. This will be for Chase and Cooper. The suspense between you guys in the last couple weeks has been incredible, and today was really fun to watch. From the back and forth comments, the gun thing a couple weeks ago, Coop saying that on the podium, and then you guys having that back and forth in session 2 of time qualifying, and then that main event. Can you both take us through what this is like to go blow for blow against these guys week after week? Because for it to be you two like this is exactly what we all wanted, and for you both to play into it has been great.
Yeah, I think it's great for the fans, right? I mean, it's great for the sport. It's great for us. It makes it fun. It's what it's all about, right? You don't you train your ass off to be in these situations when you sign up at A1, right? To be in a championship fight towards the end. So, yeah, I think for me, I'm leaning on experience and just been in here doing it with some amazing riders, and now it's with Chase. So. It's definitely, I think for the fans, great. If it was me selfishly, I wish I could run away with the thing, but it's not the case. So has been good, and yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna stick to my thing and keep the, we're both hell of competitors, right? So it's fun for everybody.
I think it's fun. Like Coop said, I mean, you train all year to get to yourself this spot, and I mean, I've raced Eli, obviously very closely, and then now Cooper in Supercross, and he's very tough. Like they're 2 completely opposites, but they have their strengths. So it's for me, it's really fun and it's special. I think for me, it makes me better. Each weekend battling him, very strong-minded. So just trying to have fun with it. Honestly, just trying to stay loose and not get too serious. Obviously, I want to win. That's the goal. But I think in the past, I've gotten just too locked down, and I think for me, just being loose and having fun is the name of the game for me. And when I'm having fun riding, that's kind of how I ride. So I'm having fun with it, and like I said, Coop's a great competitor, and it's been fun so far.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. This one's for Chase. So when I watched you in practice today, it felt a tiny bit different, because when you have that speed that you have, it seems like when you put a fast lap down, you're able to get to the top of the board. And today, kind of seemed like you struggled to have that on-command fast lap. When you go to the races and you don't have that perfect fast lap, is it something more mental or is it bike? What did you do tonight to come out and be virtually tied with Coop and then come out and then have a 14-second lead at the end of the main?
I think for me, like, it's kind of nice when you feel like you left some out there in practice, because that just gives you that something to chase when you're out there in the races. And even in the heat race, I think Kenny had a really good pace behind me, and I had to kind of pick it up. And I think that was kind of the kickstart to my night, was the heat race, and then main event. I hadn't got a great start all day and saved it for the main event. So it was good to get out front. The track was really tough, so I was really focused on just the two whip sections. If I could get through those clean and fast, I knew I would be in a good spot, and I found some good lines in there in the main event. I knew they were going to be gnarly, and those were the toughest whoops of the year, and they were back-to-back. So it was good for me to kind of just feel good in them. I didn't touch the bike all day, which is crazy, and that's when you know you're in a good spot.
So when you went into the night program, that was a full, okay, I just need to mentally be faster, pick better lines. Is that what you were thinking, or?
For me, I just knew that the track was going to go away. It actually was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. They kept moisture in it, and then the cloud cover came in, and it actually had pretty good traction in the main event. But I knew it was going to be slippery and kind of, you had to really be patient with the track. And so the main event, I just focused on technique, keeping myself in the right spots and not overriding it.
Great job.
Scott.
Scott Moto now. Cooper, obviously it's only a 3-point loss, but it was a big gap. Like, simple question, like, where are you at mentally after that race?
I need to blitz whoops if you want to win. You know, that's the bottom line. And I tried there for a little bit and just I wasn't able to do it, right? So we've been working on it, but tonight there was ruts through every single whoop. So it's genuinely impressive what Chase did through there. So, yeah, I need to work on that, clearly. And I feel like for me that was where he was just night and day better. And early I stayed with him everywhere else, but the whoops he would blow my doors off, and then it was catch up from there. So I feel mentally I'm almost better knowing, hey, you know, I was just as, in my opinion, I was probably right on par everywhere else, but it was the 2 sets of whoops that really killed me tonight, and probably should have been a bigger gap if I'm being honest.
You did have that line jumping over the table after the whoops. Is that something you had done all day, or did you start doing that in the main?
We did it in practice, but just I knew it was faster and put an emphasis on it, and wasn't easy by any means. It was everything that Yamaha 450 had. So when you didn't get it right, it was a lot slower, but it was something that I knew would save me, hopefully, and it was definitely a little bit better.
As Racer X, we'll go to Aaron for this one. You mentioned the track being kind of steep. You were behind Barsha there for a couple laps. How was it like racing perspective-wise? There was a lot of 180s and stuff. Just walk us through how, you know, were you able to make passes, and just throughout the night how the racing was on the track?
Yeah, it was honestly really tough to pass, especially when, you know, he would swing out wide and then cut back, and I would think he was going to stay, you know, to the left or whatever, and I'd go right, and then he'd be right there, and then I'd have to miss a section. I did that like probably 3 or 4 laps in a row, and then he would yard me in the whoops 1 lap, and then I'd be right on his rear wheel, and it was just like I would catch him in the hardest sections to pass, and I would, you know, it would slow me down trying to make the pass and not making it stick. So it was definitely tough. It made my heart rate get up there for sure. I was holding my breath a lot, and then, you know, unfortunately he crashed, and then I wasn't really off the hook. J. Coop was like right there, and I had a decent flow going about 4 or 5 minutes ago, and then I got into lappers and about crashed like 6 or 7 times, and then yeah, it was a tough one for me. That was probably the hardest track I've raced all year. So that was tough. I'm pumped to come away with 3rd and yeah, get closer to the end of Supercross and closer to the beginning of outdoors.
Just a quick follow-up. You mentioned Justin Cooper there behind you. There was a lot of back and forth, but could you tell where he was, or did it kind of surprise you? Like, how did you gauge where he was throughout the race?
No, I could see him. Like you said, there was a bunch of 180s, and I could keep an eye on him. It was just, you know, the blue bike right behind me. But no, he got really close there for a second, and I think he made a mistake, and me and Barsha got away from him, and then all of a sudden, you know, I made a mistake, didn't jump the finish line, and he was right back on me. So yeah, it was tough. It was barn burner for sure back on the battle for 3rd.
We'll go ahead and get started with you, RJ. Another pivotal race, a great points day for you. Where are you at now going into this next one?
I feel good. I mean, this weekend was definitely better than last. I made improvements throughout the day. That was for sure the best main event, kind of riding-wise, that I've had. Just needed a little bit more and didn't have it. Those starts were really important, so he got that kind of little bit of gap there in the beginning, and I couldn't make it up. So overall, though, I'm happy leaving here. Have another shot next weekend in Pittsburgh.
Great work today. We'll open it up to questions from the media, starting with Scott.
Scott Arjo, Moto now. Tom, the last few weeks haven't been great for you in terms of points loss. How are you feeling right now in terms of your title chances?
Yeah, like you said, the last 2 races have been pretty bad for me, especially the one in the mud, but my start wasn't that good, and I had to pass a few guys, and then I was being RJ pretty much the whole main event, and the guys were riding good. Seth was fast, and RJ too, and I was just like, feel like I couldn't get close enough to make a pass or anything. So track was pretty gnarly. And I think right now the start are pretty important, and I have to make it happen for the next 2 races.
Is there anywhere specifically on the track that you noticed yourself losing time?
I think me and RJ was pretty close. I feel like when you get maybe the last 6-7 laps, we get through the lapper, and then it's kind of like we win some time and lose. Depends on each lap, but like the speedway all, I feel like pretty close. Seth was good. He had a great start, and he was pulling away pretty early in the race. And I mean, from there it's hard to catch, of course.
Michael.
Cool. Michael Antonovich with course heading. Seth, we'll go with you. I mean, ideal day all the way from start to finish. So can you take us through it and how it feels to have sole command of the red plate?
Yeah, it was a good day for me. Felt pretty good from on the track from the practices, and heat race was pretty good. Nate was riding well, so wasn't really worried about not getting that win. Just besides gate pick is always pretty important, especially once the ruts get pretty chewed up in the main event. But other than that, I was pretty happy with the riding still. And that was the first time because I got sick this week, and then doing just a couple laps in the qualifier, I felt pretty good. But the heat race, I knew the main was going to be a pretty long one, just physically. And then, got off to a good start in the main event. Felt like the heat race, Nate was right in front of me again. I knew I had to make a quick pass. Got him right before the Supercross triple at the end of that long rhythm lane, which was good to get him early. Then he was putting pressure on me those first couple laps. He was riding well tonight. And, it was from halfway on, I was definitely feeling it physically tonight, but just kind of put my head down and tried to ride smart, consistent laps. The track was really challenging. 2 whoop sections like that were pretty treacherous, and it was nice just kind of trying to manage the gap, and RJ and Tom were riding really well, so it was a tough race, but happy to get the win.
Mitch.
Mitch Kendra with Racer X. We'll stick with Seth on this one. Congrats on the win, by the way, but also, I feel like you've got the starts that you've needed now that it's been crunch time. Is that a change in mindset, and or you feel like you're out of your comfort zone trying to push to get the start? Just walk us through the process there, knowing it's do or die now at this point.
The starts are definitely super crucial, especially at this point in the championship. But, I feel like my starts have been pretty solid this season so far. So I just try and execute what we have been doing. Try not to change anything, major. And good gate pick is important, like I was mentioning earlier. Just setting yourself up with good qualifiers, good heat races. I think that has a big part. And, just executing, getting around that first corner clean and as far front as you can for sure.
Yeah, and then a win, sole possession of the points lead. For you being from Eastern PA, this historic, Northeast swing, what is it like to be able to get a win, to be in the championship fight, and just to do it in front of your home crowd? You're within pretty close to most of these races. Just walk us through that Northeast swing here.
Yeah, it's been super cool. A lot of races that I've had so many family and friends been coming to. Even last week, Philly's like technically my hometown race, but with all this East Coast swing, I feel like the same people that are at Philly are at this one, and then Pittsburgh next weekend. So it's really cool to have everybody here. It fires me up a little bit more, and to be in the championship fight and to be having these good results. And I've been wanting to get a win in front of them for a while now, so that feels really cool. Just feeling super grateful and thankful. Then tonight gonna go home, to my house, my parents' house, and spend Easter Sunday with the family tomorrow. So that'd be really cool, and just grateful.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. This one's for RJ and Seth. I had a smile on my face watching you guys out front. It reminded me of my brother at the practice track, where I would kind of eyeball him on the other side of the track, and one of us would make a mistake, the other would make a mistake. Take us through the insight that you guys have of where you knew which section you had to push to make up that extra time, to get close, and then how it felt to lose that time again.
Yeah, for me it was like he made the pass happen that second turn, which was huge because I was right there. Felt like I got a great start, and I knew he was on the inside. He made it happen right away, and then he separated us with Nate, and Nate was he was pushing also to go for the lead, and I felt like I lost a little bit of that toe right there, where it was probably 4 seconds that he got on me, and then. He almost had a big one first lap in the whoops. I seen that from coming through. I mean, we all had some type of way. Yeah. So I had one probably right about halfway where I was still blitzing, and changed my mind after that. So then I went to jump in, and dude, I just could not find I don't even know if there was one, but the first 3 in, there was never like a good pocket where I could 3 off. So I literally was going 3, 2, hope I can hold on, and then just try to get out. Like there was no really plan after that. And then like I started catching him a little bit. He had a couple, mistakes where I was like, okay, like it's time, and then I would replicate the mistakes 2 laps later, so I would just lose it, and it was kind of back and forth. And I mean, yeah, he had a good pace going, and I didn't have the speed to make it up on him.
Yeah, it's definitely back and forth. I could see him out of the corner of my eye, like coming into the first set of whoops when he was coming across the mechanics area, and then again after the second set of whoops, he was coming out of them. I would kind of track him there, but like he said, the whoops, I'm glad I started jumping this first set after like went halfway, because like I had some moments for sure. That second to last whoop had a gnarly kicker on it. Oh, yeah. And he would come in there and I would get like kicked up and sideways, and I'm like, all right, I need to figure something else out, because I was getting a little bit fatigued out there as well, so I was kind of flying all over the place. And the second set, like you said, I need to be more patient to get that first 3 a little bit cleaner, because you just kind of go in there, jump, and then just figure it out. So I don't really know. I didn't really have a plan, but yeah, it was good, pretty good racetrack for sure.
Great race, guys.
Michael Lindsay.
Michael Lindsay, Valmex for RJ Hampshire. So RJ, 2 races ago, one being a showdown, which is always a little bit of a wild card. You have one standard round to try to bring it back in on Seth to tighten it up. You seem happy with your starts tonight, happy with your riding. So my question is to you, is it as simple as just being Seth on the start, or even sitting here now, can you pick at little things that you can do next weekend to go toe-to-toe with Seth a little bit more?
I mean, he's had 2 races, back to back. It's kind of like a hometown race for him. Pittsburgh is a hometown for me. Florida's pretty close to there, so I don't know. Just try to get something going my way. But no, I mean, I just felt like I rode better in the main event. The team actually came to test with me this week. We had a plan to test outdoors both days, Monday, Tuesday, and we tested a bit Monday on outdoors. And my suspension, like we've been kind of set up wise, to favor my wrist, and it was soft. And like I feel like that was the big deal last weekend. Like my forks were so soft, I was terrible in that main event and just managed to hang on. So today we showed up with what I tested on, and it was a complete, kind of different racetrack where it was tight, notchy. You don't necessarily need, the suspension that we went to. So it was kind of like we were learning it as the day went on. And we made good calls all throughout the day. Like our suspension guy, we made a pretty big change after second practice before that third, time qualifying. And from there on, like I felt good, and actually had intensity tonight, which I haven't really had. So just overall, I mean, happy with my starts. Our riding's getting better. It's going to be a battle no matter, what happens. Like I wish I could have been a little bit closer there right off the, those first couple laps, because I definitely lost the toe. And might have put on a bit of a show, but overall, it can't be too bummed on the night.
Do you have a follow-up for you? They always say the second title is actually harder to win than the first. We're not there yet, but how is this comparing to your title battle from the first go-around?
Man, I'm just thankful and blessed to be in this position. Like I started this season off behind the 8 ball coming in. I blitzed whoops a week before round 1, and that was it. Then I catch a tough block at round 1, start, 20 points back or whatever it was. And just to be in this position, that's where you got to look at it, big picture wise, just be thankful to be, have a chance on these weekends. We have 2 to go. And last year, I left, 3 rounds to go with the points lead, but it was also, I got very, I wouldn't say lucky, but things went my way. So I know how fast it can change. That's the same kind of mindset we'll show up with next weekend. Like, look, get the best we can out of the night, but also really have a shot once we go to Salt Lake.